Spider-Man versus Captain America, raw power versus pure skill. One is a superhuman teenager with insane strength, speed, and reflexes. The other is the perfect soldier, a man with years of combat experience, tactical intelligence, and unmatched discipline. And even though they fought briefly in Civil War, that fight never truly answered the question. If both went all out in the MCU, who actually wins? In this video, we're breaking this matchup down category by category, and at the end, we're deciding a final winner based entirely on the MCU versions. Starting with strength, this is where Spider-Man immediately takes the advantage. In Civil War, Peter casually stopped Winter Soldier's metal arm with one hand. And that's important, because Bucky's metal arm was powerful enough to overpower trained soldiers easily. But Spider-Man stopped it like it was nothing. Then, in Homecoming, we saw Peter trying to hold together a massive ferry after it was split in half. Even though he couldn't completely stop it, the fact that he managed to hold it together for even a few moments is an insane strength feat. And later in Infinity War, Spider-Man was physically restraining parts of Thanos during the fight on Titan alongside other heroes. Now Captain America is extremely strong too. He held back a helicopter from taking off in Civil War. He can overpower normal humans easily, and he's physically superior to almost every normal soldier in the MCU. But compared to Spider-Man, the gap is obvious. Spider-Man simply operates on a higher physical level. So in strength, Spider-Man wins. Speed and agility, this category heavily favors Spider-Man too. Peter's agility is completely superhuman. He moves faster than most opponents can react to, dodges attacks in midair, swings through environments instantly, and changes direction effortlessly during combat. But the biggest factor here is Spider-Sense. Spider-Sense warns Peter about danger before it happens, meaning he's not just reacting quickly, he's reacting before the attack fully comes. And we've seen how powerful this ability is. In No Way Home, Peter's Spider-Sense allowed him to detect danger even before physical movement happened around him. Captain America has amazing reflexes and combat movement, but his reactions are still based on human perception, even if enhanced. Spider-Man's reactions go beyond that. So in speed and agility, Spider-Man clearly wins. Now durability. Spider-Man's durability in the MCU is honestly underrated. He survived getting hit by a speeding train in Far From Home, took brutal punches from Green Goblin in No Way Home, and continued fighting after massive physical punishment. Captain America is also incredibly durable. He survives heavy impacts from Thanos, brutal fights, and intense battlefield situations regularly. But Spider-Man consistently survives stronger attacks from stronger enemies. So in durability, Spider-Man wins again. Now the interesting part. IQ and strategy. Peter Parker is extremely intelligent. He created his own web shooters at a young age, understands advanced science, and adapts creatively during fights. But Captain America's intelligence is different. Steve Rogers is a battlefield strategist. He reads situations instantly, coordinates teams, and makes smart tactical decisions under pressure. And unlike Spider-Man, Captain America has years of real combat experience. So while Peter may be smarter scientifically, Steve is smarter tactically in combat situations. So in strategy and battlefield IQ, Captain America wins. Now combat skill and experience. This is Captain America's biggest advantage. Steve has years of military training and real battlefield experience. In The Winter Soldier, he defeated multiple strike agents in the elevator fight using pure combat skill and tactics. He also held his own against fighters like Winter Soldier and Iron Man in close combat. Spider-Man mainly relies on instinct, agility, and raw power. Even in Civil War, Peter was inexperienced and depended more on his abilities than technique. So in combat skill and experience, Captain America clearly wins. Now abilities. Spider-Man's abilities make him incredibly versatile. Super strength, wall crawling, webbing, spider sense, extreme agility. His webs alone completely changed the fight, allowing him to control movement and distance. Captain America mainly relies on his shield and physical enhancements. And while the shield is one of the best weapons in the MCU, it doesn't give Steve the same level of versatility Peter has. So in abilities, Spider-Man wins. How the fight would actually go. In an actual fight, Captain America would perform well early on because of his experience and tactical skill. He would stay calm, look for openings, and try to control Spider-Man's movement. But as the fight continues, Spider-Man's physical advantages become harder and harder to overcome. He's simply too strong, too fast, and too difficult to hit consistently because of spider sense. And eventually, Captain America would start getting overwhelmed physically. Not because he lacks skill, but because the gap in raw ability is just too large. Final verdict. So let's break it down. Strength, Spider-Man. Speed and agility, Spider-Man. Durability, Spider-Man. IQ and strategy, Captain America. Combat skill and experience, Captain America. Abilities, Spider-Man. Captain America is the better soldier, the better tactician, and the more skilled fighter. But Spider-Man's physical advantages are simply overwhelming. He's stronger, faster, more durable, and far more versatile. And because of that, in the MCU, Spider-Man wins.